Right, there's no other way of putting it. You have to get the Fourth Horseman exotic shotgun. It's the most bonkers gun in the entire game. In the video, I'm going to go over some hints and tips on how to complete the various quest steps, which are a little bit boring in places, but never mind. And also going to give you some really handy hints on doing the legendary lost sector at the end, because it's 1000 power level and it's really hard for us to finish, particularly if you are under leveled like I am. I'm 976. So keep on watching to the end to get all that juicy info and as well a look at the gun itself.
Hello, Guardian.
Right, so the first thing you have to do is go and see old Zavalas shoulder pads himself, and he's going to give you the quest, and that means you have to go and find his mysterious office located in the bowels of the tower, which is this way. So leave the man himself to ponder his existence, and then rather than jumping down all over the place and getting yourself slipped and broken necked, I'd go down this back stairway here, because you've got like a firm footing to get there. So go past all these orangey tube type things, and then you want to go through this access area on your right, go over this little landing gantry affair, lovely pleasant views, go back underneath. Shax is just over there to your left, and over here to your right we're going down behind where the Cryptarch is. Be careful on these stairs. I killed myself 4 times by running through the gaps like an arse. So anyway, keep on going down here, and look here, the first time I came here all these people were here and they couldn't get into the bloody thing because the door was locked. And this is happening quite a lot, so if it happens to you, return to orbit and then come back and the door will be open like thusly. Nice little garden feature there. Okay, so here's Zavalas Office itself. There's a couple of interesting things in here. First of all, it seems that Zavala likes to knit, which is very interesting. And second of all, there's a little sort of secret type affair just up here on top of this bookcase, which is quite good fun if you've got a minute. So the best way to jump up there is to jump onto this sideboard here and then land on that little sticky outy bit, and you'll see it says play mixtape. And I recommend you do.
Training, Guardian. You can only get stronger from this.
There we are, you see, old Shax likes a bit of a chinwag, and there's a few little tracks for you to dance to in our own inimitable style. Anyway, once you've done your boogieing, looked at some more knitting, you want to leave the room via this staircase in the far wall, and you want to go down to this area here. Now, at first glance, it's quite difficult to find the way out of here. It all seems to be dead ends. But if you look under the staircase that you came down into the room on, underneath there, there's this little way we can go. Go down this air vent. Careful, you do have to jump across a few areas here, so careful you don't slip and die, which is very irritating. Then down in this area way here, up this staircase, we're going to go through a nice dingy orange area. Once you get out of this area, you want to take a left, keep on going, and now there's another little vent hole up the top there to your right. So jump on the box and jump up here. Remember, you'll mantle up, which is quite nice. Jump up here, then you want to run through to the end of this corridor. Don't take the lefts or rights, they're dead ends, and drop down here onto this yellow stairway. Oh, that's not that way, is it? The door's shut. You want to go up. That's right, go up. And then once you leave the room, take a left, climb up. It's only one way to go, really. It's not that tricky. Jump up that way. Very nice lighting. There's another ledge to get up on here. And then soon we're going to find ourselves in that little armory we saw earlier, and an empty box where there should be a Fourth Horseman. But some swine has gone and bloody nicked it, would you believe? So, what we have to do is go and see Zavala again. Hello, Baldy. Then what we're going to do is go and see Bray. So off we go to Mars. And there she is, all posing. Now then, what we need to do for this is the first part of the grind, really. We've got to go and kill either Cabal and do public events anywhere on Mars. So killing Cabal gives you a little bit of like a percentage here and there for killing them. Then you've also got to do the public events, and Escalation Protocol counts as a public event. Now, for each stage of this that you complete, you'll get 10% of the job done. And for every public event you complete, you'll get 20% of the job done. So it's just a matter of grinding it out. And once you've done that, let's go back and see what's her face. Ms. Bray will then tell you that you've either got to go and kill scions or open Red War chests, you know, treasure chests that you'll find sprinkled about the place. Now, for me, I went to Firebase Hades in order to do this in the EDZ, because I know that's a Red War area. So what I would recommend, though, before you go there, there is to stick on a ghost shell that's got Treasure Hunter on it. A good one is Eris Morn's shell, because that's got a 50-meter range to find the caches. So once you stick that on, make your way to Firebase Hades, get on your Sparrow, and then just fly around until you find individual chests. Now, each chest gives you 20%, so it's only 5 chests you have to find to knock this particular part of the quest on the head. Okay, then completely randomly, we've got to go and see old Benedict robot face back on the tower. So make sure you land in the Annex landing zone, go and see Benedict, and then he's going to tell you to go to the EDZ and do patrols and public events in order to decrypt some sort of message transmission-y type thing. So I've experimented with a few ways to get this to boost up as quickly as possible. Killing baddies and svines will only push you up at a percentage point at a time, really. Individual patrols, that'll give you 5%, so that's not too bad. But the public events themselves, now I think it differs depending on if you turn it heroic or not. So if you just do a standard public event, you get about 10%, and you get about 20% for doing a heroic public event. So obviously if you turn it heroic, that'll make things pug along a little bit quicker. Now then, I ended up doing the Seraph Tower event, to be perfectly honest, because that also helps you pug it up a bit, and then you can do some of your Warmind bounties at the same time and earn yourself some bits, which is obviously very, very handy. Right, that bit's done. Back off to see Benedict in the tower again, and he's going to give you the final quest step. Now, this is the hardest bit to do. It is to clear out the legendary lost sector called the Quarry. Now, the legendary lost sectors can be found in Rasputin's bunker in the sludge on the EDZ. So if you make your way there, once down in the bunker itself, you can see the actual lost sectors are activated on the left on this little computer screen here. Now this one, the Quarry, it's Cabal, and the champions have got Unstoppable and Barrier, so make sure you equip your weapons accordingly for that. The thing to bear in mind that these legendary lost sectors are in a rotation of 3, so they change daily. So unfortunately, if the Quarry isn't there, you're going to have to wait 2 days, or really a day I suppose, before you can actually do it. And they turn around in this order. You have Scavenger's Den, Skydock 4, and then the Quarry, and then it cycles back around to Scavenger's Den again, so bear that in mind. Now, if you're like me and you play a lot of solo and you don't really have a fire team that you can turn to help you out, and you are under-leveled, and I am quite severely under-leveled because it's 1,000 level in the legendary lost sectors and I'm only 976, the best thing you can do is tool yourself up in the bunker before you go in to give yourself the best chance of doing it, and that's how I managed to solo the bunker itself. So what you need to do first of all is go and look at the front screen of Rasputin's bunker, and you want to make sure that you're at integration level 5. You can see it there in the bottom right hand corner, so you can get the elite heavy frames permissions. That means that they fire at a much higher rate because you're going to be summoning them to help you out. And also, if you've got a higher rank as well, you'll be able to make use of the Super Valkyrie, which will come in handy summoning throughout the Lost Sector as we go. Okay, now let's go into the actual upgrades themselves. Obviously, in order to make use of the elite heavy frame, you need to make sure you've got tier 3 on the heavy frame as well. So you're going to have to be charged up a little bit in order to do this solo. And also, you want to make sure you can get access to the Valkyrie in the Lost Sector as well. So make sure you've got tier 3 Valkyrie and tier 3 heavy frame, otherwise you won't be able to do it because it's too hard. Now then, this isn't a very big Lost Sector. It's basically 2 rooms. Now when I went in, first of all, I started shooting people with my various guns, my Ariana's Vow, etc. A few shots from them basically saw me off quite sharpish. Look, bang bang, to bog standard Cabal have blown my bottom squarely across the screen. Yes, I come back in again and give it another go again, and would you believe it, I got killed again, and this happened again and again and again. There is a barrier champion there, sorry, an unstoppable champion there, who's a bit of a total pain in the ass, so, you know, he's just going to muller you, particularly if you're at 976. So, what I did, if you look, jump into the main room. Now then, just ignore everybody in this main room. You don't have to kill anybody at all. You basically want to get past this heavy frame activation here. Don't activate it, just run straight past. There's a couple of Scions and Cabals this way as well, so just ignore them and just keep on going. Turn round, and here we go. Now you're going to get... Ooh, look, they don't matter if they summon, just run like buggery, ignore them. Slide through the little hole, and then you're into the next section of the Lost Sector, and this is the final part. Now this is where you're going to summon your elite heavy frames, and they're going to kick the bottoms of the gits that you can't kill. So summon him straight away, which I did here. You got insufficient because there was a cooldown, you see, and I went to get my Valkyrie and I got killed. So when you die, look, you don't go back to the beginning, you go back halfway, so you can forget about that first room entirely, which is great. So go in and immediately activate the heavy frame, and then he'll start kicking people's faces in. You can give in a few extras if you like, you know. I think I had a super ready, so I got me hammers out and smashed it into some bloke's face. But they do make reasonably short work of everybody in the Lost Sector. I was really surprised. Look, I'm dead, and he's still doing the killing. It's marvellous. So there we go. You can see a champion is defeated. I respawned back in the halfway mark, so just made my way back through. And by the time I ran in again, I could summon the heavy frame again. So I did that, and once I summoned him for a second time, he kicked everyone's bum again, even though I was dead. Look, I used a Valkyrie to sort of help me along. I managed to get a good couple of digs in, but then I jumped out of the way, and of course I was killed, shot up the backside again. So I thought I'll go back in, give it another try, because I'm not going to give up. And when I got back into the room, would you believe it, my heavy frame had killed absolutely everybody, so I hardly had to do anything at all. Marvellous! That's why you should have your elite heavy frames. Now then, went up to collect the loot. It's not in the Seraph chest, it's actually in the proper Lost Sector looking chest. And there we have it, our Fourth Horseman drops. Marvellous! Isn't that a great feeling? Mine always end up going to the post office because I've never got enough space. Okay, let's have a look at the gun itself. Perks-wise, we've got Arrowhead Brake, which controls the recoil and also increases the handling speed. Assault Mag, which increases the stability and the rate of fire, which is a big feature of this. The rate of its fire is ridiculous. Then we've got Broadside. Each successive shot has more damage than the last, so the more shots you string, the more powerful they become, and you get an increase in spread. The final one then is Fitted Stock, so that's increasing stability, moderate recoil, and slightly decreases handling speed. And its main exotic perk is called Thunder. This weapon's rate of fire is increased significantly and fires full auto. And it does indeed fire fast, as you can see here. It's crazy. One tap of the trigger and it practically spews out the entire mag. Now you've got 16 shots altogether. You've got 4 in the pipe and 12 in the mag. So it does go through them quite quickly, really, like a hot ball bearing through runny butter. So what we've got here really is a nice little boss killer and a major killer. Just wander up, empty the barrels into their face, and they're dead. It's a close range weapon, but of course it's a shotgun, and the recoil is rather crazy. It just pushes you straight up the moment you fire it. So you've really got to have your target filling the screen before you let rip. There's an email. I'm using it during the Seraph Tower adventure, and I did find it very handy to kill the large major type chaps who seem to dawdle around the box area and stop you from spawning lots of balls. So it's a good weapon to use there. Oh, and there is a catalyst that can drop too. It can drop in the legendary Lost Sectors, and it can also drop in the Seraph Tower event as well. It hasn't dropped for me just yet, but I believe it adds an extra shot to the mag, so you get 5 instead of 4, and you also get an increase in reload speed, which is going to be very handy because it's very, very slow to reload. But there you go. Can't complain, can you? Eh? Oh yes, one other thing. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be really cool. And if you want to see more of my stuff, then you can also subscribe. That would be marvellous. And if you want to watch more of my Time Sausages stuff, here's a couple of other videos for you to take a look at. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and ensconced, my lovely guardians.